คุณผู้ชมคะขณะที่พม่ากำลังเปลี่ยนผ่านไปสู่การเปิดประเทศอย่างเต็มที่และเข้าสู่กระบวนการประชาธิปไตยนะคะหลายภาคส่วนในพม่ามีการขยับตัวกันมากขึ้นไม่ว่าจะเป็นฝ่ายรัฐบาลฝ่ายค้านอีกด้านหนึ่งที่เริ่มมีส่วนสำคัญมากขึ้นในเชิงการเมืองก็คือกลุ่มนักเคลื่อนไหวซึ่งเป็นอดีตนักศึกษาที่ร่วมต่อต้านรัฐบาลทหารพม่าในยุคปี 1988 นะคะที่ได้ชื่อว่ากลุ่ม 88 หนึ่งในแกนนำก็คือคุณโคโคจีค่ะซึ่งในช่วงที่มีการปิดประเทศนะคะก็ถูกคุมขังทางการเมืองยาวนานหลายระลอกแต่วันนี้ได้รับการปล่อยตัวแล้วนะคะจนถึงขณะนี้ก็ได้รับการปล่อยตัวมาแล้วตั้งแต่เมื่อช่วงต้นปีที่แล้วจนถึงวันนี้คุณโคโคจีเริ่มมีแนวคิดแล้วนะคะว่าอาจจะตั้งพรรคการเมืองที่เป็นเสียงสะท้อนของกลุ่มนักเคลื่อนไหวโดยเฉพาะแต่ด้านหนึ่งก็มีเสียงที่สะท้อนด้วยความกังวลว่าอาจจะไปดึงเสียงของพรรคฝ่ายค้านที่องซานซูจีเป็นผู้นำอยู่ในภาพรวมคุณโคโคจีบอกว่าภาพรวมการเมืองของพม่ายังสับสนอยู่มากค่ะช่วงที่มาเมืองไทยและมาเรียนรู้การเมืองในไทยดิฉันได้สัมภาษณ์คุณโคโคจีในเรื่องเหล่านี้ด้วยค่ะ I remember in the by-election last year on the 1st of April you were released already
yes.
and you said 88 students won't set up a new party or won't send any candidates to contest with NLD. This must be planned that sooner or later you will have set up a new political party.
Maybe, but we haven't decided the timing. So as I have already mentioned, so we just very cautiously thinking of what we are going to do.
Who will be your supporters, main supporters of 88 students?
Our people.
Who are your people?
Yes. So at the very beginning, so especially in 1988, there was no political parties at all, except the Burma Socialist Program Party. So we just break through the situation. So and then, so continuously we try to think of what we can fulfill for our country. So but just now, so we have such experience about the 20 years in politics. So that's why we deeply consider to engage in politics. But I don't want to talk so early.
Now, totally about 88 students were released from prison, but a few hundreds do still remain in prison. Do you expect more will be released before 2015 general election?
So some remaining political prisoners, we just discussed with the minister level, so to release them in a proper time. So as possible as we can, we just want to be released at once. I'm one of the members of the remaining political prisoners reviewing committee. So before I went to Thailand, so about 2 meetings with the union level ministers. The problem is, so how to define the political prisoners? So that's the key point, I think. So if not, we cannot clarify who is the political prisoner, which sentence is relating to politics. So that's why to release the political prisoner, so we would need to identify who is the political prisoner.
How do you see overall landscape of politics in Burma at the moment?
A very confusing time. So honestly, I have to say we have no such experience as a transitional period. So we all are formally as an activist. So just now, because of our transition, so some of the sectors, just we've already cooperated with the authorities, and some other points we need to criticize and point out the irregularities and the misuse of powers or so and so. So that's very confusing.
Apart from ideology, I'm sure you have goodwill to set up political institution, but practically you need money, you need more people, younger people.
Yes.
Have you got any plan to mobilize funds to support you?
So that's a problem, I agree. So because so many in politics is, so whether we like it or not, so to some extent it's quite important for us. But just for the time being, so we have some donations from our relatives and our close friends. So, but just very recently, we made a fundraising concert. So many sympathizers donate for our 80 generations. But if we form a political party or something, so we will have to consider how to make a fundraisings.
Violence coming up in various places, Arakan State,
Yes.
Mithila, or even in the north, Kachin State.
Kachin State, yes.
How can we be so sure that the national election can be happening smoothly? Or are you concerned that finally military may take hold of the country again because of violence coming up in many areas?
So many problems are the old ones, not present, comes up just very recent times. So because of the successive government, so we cannot solve our ethnic problems and some other problems. So just now a little opening in our country. So just like a Lebanon copper mine field or the Rakhine affairs or the Kachin arms conflict between Myanmar army and the Kachin army. So that's we will have to solve for our country. But we need to take time, I think. So because under the dictatorship, so the way of thinking and the mindset is just how to call it. So us them, we need to practice the compromise or the negotiation skill. So at the same time, we try to encourage our people not to be afraid of, to express their feelings or their sufferings. But at the same time, we need to find the proper mechanism to solve the problems.
You were put in prison on and off all along since 1988?
Yes, 1989, about 2 months in custody.
Yes.
And then from 1991 to 2005, so over 13 years. So, and then 2006 to 2007, 3.5 months in custody. And then finally 2007 to 2012,
Yes.
January 13.
When you were in prison, have you felt anger toward the government, toward military?
So as a human being, sometimes just a little upset or
A little?
A little, but we try to encourage ourselves. We didn't do any wrong things. So we are serving for our country. So one day we have to achieve our goal. So this is our political convictions. And then second point is being a Buddhist. So every human being was a former prisoners. So at the very beginning of the human being is in our mother's womb. So just a little space for 9 months or that's why everybody was a former prisoners. And then so no need to be afraid of any prison terms, more prison term, because everybody has a death sentence also. So
Yes, for you it's 65 years.
Yes, so everybody has to die. So that's why the death sentence everybody has got.
For you, was it like a reborn moment when you know that you would be released from prison?
Yes, so while we were in prison, we tried to be mature, politically and so spiritually ourselves.
Do you see national reconciliation is necessary for Burma to be at peace and then to move forward?
So the most important point for our country, so actually a Buddhist philosophy, metta, so how much we can forgive others, so how much we can look forward for the brighter future. So fortunately, our Myanmar society is under the Buddhist culture mostly. So that's very lucky for our country. So how much we suffer in prison, so we can forgive. but we need to make records for our next generations. What has happened in our country? We need to make lesson learned for our next generations, not to happen again. So that's very important. And then, so our society has to recognize those victims of the wrong political system. So I mean not only the political prisoner. So some of the oppressors also, they are the victims of the wrong political system. So everybody has suffered a trauma. Just we have come across for over 2 decades. So we need to cure those wounds of our society.
นักเคลื่อนไหวกลุ่ม 88 เป็นกลุ่มที่ได้รับการพูดถึงในแง่ดีจากกลุ่มชาติพันธุ์นะคะว่าเป็นกลุ่มที่สนใจความทุกข์ยากของกลุ่มชาติพันธุ์ในพม่าค่ะขณะที่พรรค NLD กับการนำขององซานซูจีถูกวิพากษ์วิจารณ์อย่างหนักในเรื่องนี้นะคะกับการสื่อสารกับกลุ่มชาติพันธุ์ต่างๆในพม่าต้องติดตามความเคลื่อนไหวที่จะเกิดขึ้นจากนี้ไป